Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be drinking the classic Four Roses. I haven't had regular Four Roses in so long because usually the Four Roses I have is like the single barrel or small batch. I can't remember how the regular Four Roses is, and in a way, I'm glad I'm on a budget this month because if not, I would have had five Four Roses or four Roses. Mm. Uh, because they're all different. You know, it was going to be this, a small batch, and two others that cost $50 each. And I don't know what's the difference between them. So that might be in a future video. And I'll compare, and also in a future video, I will compare all Four Roses together. So, well, that's a beautiful sound. And if you see me sweating, it's because my AC's been out all day. And the only way to fix it, I think, is either call HVAC or put a new air compressor in, and I'm going to do that part first before I call HVAC because one's cheaper than the other. Alright, but anywho, that's either here or there. What matters now is the Four Roses. Now, if you look at it, it's a classic golden bourbon look. That just all hit me in the nose all at once. I'm not really getting that much on the nose, honestly. Because every time I take a sniff, I'm just getting hit with waves of alcohol. Not saying that all this does is smell like alcohol. It's just what I'm getting right now. Okay, there's the corn. Yeah, it smells like not yellow corn, but maybe white corn. It's very light. That the corn that they used, and I'm pretty sure I said this. This particular bourbon was made in Kentucky. It's hot. Like, if you're interested in trying out bourbon, go to Kentucky Bourbon. You know, get bourbon that's in Kentucky. I think I probably found one, maybe one. There was a bourbon in Kentucky that I didn't like. It's hard to find a bourbon that you won't like when it comes to Kentucky bourbon. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my past videos, but for anyone new, in order for it to be called a bourbon, it has to be one, made in America, two, made in white, I believe white oak barrels, virgin white oak barrels. Has to be aged for at least 2 years, and it has to be made in America. Or I think I already said that before, and it has to be at least 51% corn in the mash. So if you do all those steps, then you can legally put on the product that this is bourbon. If you do it, say for a year, or say you do it for 2 years, but it's not 51% corn, it's 50% corn, then legally you can't call it bourbon. It'll just be American whiskey or your state's whiskey. Yeah, if you want to stand out from the crowd, say it's your state's whiskey or your town's whiskey to seem to like right now, I'm in South Carolina and it's in the summer and it's really hot. But and I've seen Charleston whiskey. I haven't seen Columbia whiskey. No, I have. No, it was Lexington. It's all Lexington whiskey, but I've never seen Columbia whiskey or Greenville whiskey. But like, say like there was say it was a Columbia, like there was a brewery in Columbia, and they came up with Columbia whiskey. Which one will catch your eye more? Seeing Columbia whiskey, Columbia, South Carolina whiskey, or American whiskey? Which one's like sounds more interesting? It would probably be the city and state that it came from, than just the state, or either than just the state, or just saying it's American whiskey. Like to me, American whiskey is just a throwaway. I know I'm, kind of ranting a little bit, but I mean, there's a reason why Jack Daniels is so popular because it is a Tennessee bourbon. It is American bourbon. But because they went through an extra step, it's like, well, we only do this in Tennessee, so therefore we are Tennessee whiskey and not American bourbon. We're not a bourbon, we are Tennessee whiskey. So because they found that loophole, like, yeah, makes sense. And so they were granted that. So, and if you're ever wondering why would they do that, when you go into a liquor store and you see like American bourbon, or say bourbon in general, and it's a vast area because it's covering 50 states. It's covering 50 states. Like, do you want to compete with 50 states? With every distillery in those 50 states? Or you can say that we are Tennessee whiskey, or your state's whiskey. Then it will fall under American whiskey, which is smaller. It's a smaller competition. And although you are competing with 50 states, and all the distillers in there, they're only for American whiskey, not bourbon. Bourbon is more popular in America, so it's going against the grain a little bit. And so therefore, that stands out. And especially if you're from that state, you want to support your state. So you will buy your state, like you'll buy tomatoes from your town, you'll buy veggies from your town, you'll buy veggies from your state, because you want to support your state. So it's a great way to show some support and to stand away from the crowd. Like, because again, if you're from Tennessee, if you sell Tennessee bourbon, like, okay, it's like all like it'll blend in with all the other bourbons, and you have to actually look to see if you can find that particular one, versus going to just whiskey, American whiskey, which that is a lot smaller, and go, oh, there's a whiskey in Tennessee, American whiskey in Tennessee, that's not a bourbon. I want to check that out. It brings more curiosity, and if you're again from that state, you want to support that state, so therefore you buy it. Or if you're not even from that state, you're like, I've never had Tennessee whiskey, I want to try that out. There you go. I've had New York whiskey, Ohio whiskey, which that one was kind of weird, because I don't know if it was Ohio whiskey or it was Illinois whiskey, because it was bottled and distilled in one area, but the mash was made in another. And one said it was Ohio, the other one said it was Illinois. But it's like on the border. So, but those, I think one was called, I can't remember which state it was in, if it was Illinois or if it was Ohio. But it was called, I think it was called Noble Oak. If y'all can find if you like bourbon or American whiskey, if you like whiskey in general, if you like the American style, if you could find Noble Oak, get it. You would not be disappointed. It's very good. I've been talking for 11 minutes and I have not had this. So, I was actually drank the Four Roses, the legendary Four Roses, which is a distillery I wish I would have went to, but you had to have reservations. Found that out the hard way. But Four Roses. Classic bourbon. It's a classic bourbon. There's a cherry note to it. There's the wood. There's a little bit of a burn. But the burn is more like, right now I'm trying to decide if it's burn from the alcohol or burn from spice. I think it's more spice. Like there's more allspice to it, some nutmeg that's in it. And I mean, you can't go wrong with Four Roses, especially if you like that classic bourbon. Like Four Roses, Woodford, Elijah Craig. You know, well, Woodford and Elijah Craig has more of a barrel note to it. This is, I would compare this one actually to more of Maker's Mark. It's like Maker's Mark with nutmeg and with a little bit more of spice to it. So, yeah, there's a little bit more spice to it. There is a little bit of an alcohol bite, but it's not like offensive. It goes down easy. It just makes me like. It reminds me of the small batch, which I think the small batch, I think is higher alcohol proof, but flavor wise, they're relatively similar. But again, that'll be in the later video when I get the small batch and I get the other two bottles that I think, from what I could gather, were from different warehouses in Kentucky. So I don't know if they taste different. They're both $50. So that's gonna be that's gonna be on a later video. Because I'm actually curious, like, what's the difference between, say, something like this, the small batch, and the other two? But again, it's like Four Roses is hard to beat, especially if you just want a good, cheap, classic bourbon. And when I say cheap, I'm not saying like, this is bottom shelf. No, I'm not demeaning this at all. I'm saying that more lovingly. Like, it is a good economy bourbon. Like, I think, like if a Maker's Mark is like, say, $40, because, supply and demand. But say it's $40. This is $20, like more in the $20 range. And it tastes either as good as Maker's Mark or even better than Maker's Mark for half the price. So why not get yourself some Four Roses? Again, if you like that classic bourbon, like, and it doesn't have a strong wood note, but it's more spice forward. So if your drinks are going to be more spicy, like if you want to like more spice, like allspice, nutmeg, if you want more of that, I guess you can say winter, more winter vibes, get Four Roses. It has everything that Maker's Mark has, and a little bit more. So, Four Roses. Oh, there's notes on here. Fresh pear, apple, gentle spice, which that's what it says, spicy, smooth caramel, and vanilla. Yeah, established in 1888. Yeah, and that's one of the things I do love about American bourbon. Was the establishments. It's been back about almost 200 years ago. Which I get it, like, for or anyone who's European, like, 200 years, okay, whatever. You know, but they are an older country. We're a younger country. And if you think about it, our country was established officially in 1776. This was established in 1888. About 104 years later, Four Roses came out. Like, that's actually kind of cool. So you're tasting, like, you're not just tasting the area that it was from, but you're also tasting history, especially if they have not changed their recipe and since 1888. Now, if it's the same type of recipe, you're literally tasting history. So, again, it's what makes it kind of cool. I mean, I do love Four Roses, but because I just read off the notes, I'm going to see if I can taste them. Besides the spice. Now, off the nose, I can see pear and apple. But let's see if I can figure out the taste. So, cheers. Let's give it. Yeah, I can see pear. I can also see apple, like a Granny Smith apple. The caramel I also got when I was swishing it around. I got caramel and a little bit of vanilla, and those two together kind of makes a butterscotch note. So if you take butterscotch, it's mainly vanilla and caramel. So yeah, I could taste pretty much everything that they noted on this, which is kind of rare for me because usually it's like I could taste this, but not this. But I can taste like a pear. I could also say that pear being an apple, like a Granny Smith apple. Hang on, let me take one more sip. I taste more of a pear than an apple. But as soon as I said that, I could taste like a red delicious apple. Like the peel of it. So, yeah. Four Roses is amazing. It's not expensive. It's a good economy bourbon. If you're interested in bourbon, pick up yourself a Four Roses. If you are a bourbon drinker, you already know how good Four Roses is. But I also like to hear what you have to say down in the comments. Am I wrong about this? Is Four Roses as good as I think it is, or is it not? Put it down in the comments. And almost lost my balance. And if you like this kind of, and this is actually a longer video, sorry for the rant in the beginning, or the educational rant, but if you do enjoy this kind of content, hit that like, hit the subscribe, and you know what? If you like this kind of stuff, put it down in the comments saying that you like it, or if you want to see me change something, put it down in the comments also. Like, I can't get better if no one tells me what I'm doing wrong. So, and also, if you like this kind of content, if you are subscribed, hit that notification bell just so that you can stay up to date. I do try to upload at least 5 times a week, but the times are all sporadic. Don't know when it's going to come out. When it does, It's more of like, I have enough battery. Like, oh, I need to upload a video. I have enough battery to do it. Let's do it. Well, my battery is on 1%. I can't do it. Charge my phone and wait till everything's done. So, that's it for my rambling. This is Four Roses, and this is Damn Drink signing off. This is for you, Four Roses. Thank you for being so amazing, and I can't wait to try more of your product. So, this is me, Dan Drink, signing off. See you on the next one.